Welcome back to another video here on the Washington Football Maniacs channel. My name is Greg. I am your host, and this channel, of course, is dedicated to news and commentary for your Washington Commanders, as well as NFL news around the league. If that sounds great to you, please make sure to consider subscribing to this channel. And of course, when you do, make sure you hit that notification bell so you won't miss any other video releases. So we're getting into some meat and potatoes. Yes, I am getting kind of hungry. It's dinner time. Um, about minicamp for the Washington Commanders. So, big blow yesterday. Noah Brown was carted off the field with an injury. I'm still waiting to kind of hear what that injury entails, but this is not good. A big blow to that wide receiver core for the Washington Commanders. Also, it looked like we had another receiver that was kind of banged up as well. What's his name? What is his name? The one from the Cowboys that we picked up. Anyway, yeah, we're starting to get a little thin there at wide receiver, but keep in mind, we still got Luke McCaffrey. We're going to have Terry McLaurin. We know we're going to have Terry McLaurin, okay? We know we're going to have him. We've got some other guys who have the opportunity, younger guys that we drafted and brought in, that they now have the chance to shine in this mini camp. And so sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, but we certainly hope that things are not going to be very serious for Noah Brown, but it is a big blow to that wide receiver core. Now, speaking of that wide receiver core and Terry McLaurin, of course, we're talking about his contract dispute. And the good thing is, and this has come from Adam Schefter, Adam feels like there is going to be a deal getting done. He says he knows that Terry McLaurin is very frustrated with where the talks are at. He hasn't participated, of course, in any of the offseason activities. Of course, he's missing the mini camp this week as well. But we all know that Terry McLaurin is extremely vital for the continued development of Jaden Daniels, just for that offense in general. And so there is a just I guess you would call a contentious thought that there's no way that this is going to drag on and drag on. Some people said they're a little taken back by the fact that this has dragged on, between Adam Peters and the agents for Terry McLaurin. Honestly, this is part of what happens. Terry held out a couple of years ago, I think in 22, to get a contract extension. And of course, he's doing it again a few years later. This is just something that happens. And I do feel like a deal is going to get done. I would like for it to get done sooner as opposed to later. And so, we just hope that that is something that we can see that is going to transpire, because, life without Terry, I think, would be a struggle for Jaden Daniels. Not saying that Jaden Daniels would struggle per se, but I mean, Terry means a lot to this offense. And if you can't have Terry McLaurin, I know you got Deebo Samuel. Depending on how the injury is with Noah Brown, you hope that you have him by the season. Luke McCaffrey, we're going to see how his second season comes in. The kid from Virginia Tech, who knows? I mean, he may fool everybody. He may just surprise everybody and be as good as Terry McLaurin. I mean, we don't know. It's hard to gauge, especially when you start having holdouts and you start having injuries. The other guys have to step up. So that's really when your general manager shines, in your front office in general. Do they show you that, guess what? We see that things could happen. Things could definitely happen where, um, you have your stars getting hurt or holding out, and you need these other guys to step up and to fill those positions. So um, we'll have to wait and see how all that transpires. Other stuff that I thought was very interesting this week didn't have so much to do about minicamp as much as it had to do with the Washington Commanders brand. Now, we've talked about the Washington Commanders brand off and on this channel. Hopefully by now, most of you guys, anyway, kind of have an idea of where I stand when it comes to the brand. Never really cared for Commanders that much. Felt that it was very generic. Felt like it was just something that nobody really picked, that nobody really wanted. But here we are, we have it. And you're going to have fans who are going to cling on to anything that the franchise, that the organization throws out to them. Don't know. I mean, I guess they're getting perks and whatever it is. Maybe they're, what you call professional fans. But, for a lot of us who are the normal, yet very loyal fans to the organization, it's one of those things where overall, as long as the team is winning, that's what's most important. But we're not going to sit here and lie to you and say that we think that everything that um, the Commanders did in terms of the brand was the greatest thing. Um, I'm not going to tell you that because honestly, the W looks like something that was done in 5 minutes. I mean, it is such. As a matter of fact, I was able to go back and pretty much recreate that W within about 5 minutes on Photoshop. And I'm not a graphic designer. You know, I'm not trying to put the person down who came up with it. I'm just saying, it was the least you could do. It was the least, honestly. Having said all that, there was stuff that came out this week in terms of the brand and something with the pictures of Jaden Daniels and him posing in front of a spear or holding a spear while he's wearing his whole Washington Commanders uniform. And that really got social media talking in terms of, could this possibly be uh, something that's on the way as far as throwback uniforms and throwback helmets and things like that. A lot of people are hoping that it would be a sight to see as far as something that could be permanent. I can tell you, I love the Indian chief. I will always love that Native American chief. I grew up with that. I watched this team win Super Bowls with that imagery, and so my heart is always going to be first more toward the chief than anything else. Having said that, I really love the spears, the spear helmet. I love that icon as well. And if you can incorporate the spear with Commanders, you could definitely figure a way out with that. I think they're trying to move more toward like a Roman soldier type of thing with the spears. I can see how they're working that in. And I think that that could be a good tie to bring the past fans into the fold. Just honestly, this whole Commanders thing with the W and all that stuff is boring. We need something that's going to be cool that we could be like, man, that is bad. Man, that is bad. A lot of people were clinging to the black uniforms and the black helmet, and they're like, that's what we need to have all the time. I disagree. This is always the burgundy and gold, should always be the burgundy and gold. The black should never be the permanent thing. Looks too much like the Steelers. I honestly hate it. Looks too much like Steelers. That being said, if they can incorporate the spear in with the logo somehow, maybe replace that W with the spear. I know some people said you got to remove the feather. Can't have anything that has to do with Native Americans. You got to remove that feather. We can't have that feather. You know, Eh, I've never seen so many people get so triggered by feathers in my entire life. I mean, you could probably still have the feather on that spear if you wanted to. As a matter of fact, I think it would be great. Um, they're going to be like, feathers have nothing to do with commanders. Feathers, well, I mean, okay. What about spears? I mean, you could put a gun on there. Of course, you wouldn't do that because people would really get their panties in a bind over guns. So, um, I would say, with or without the feather, I'm not so triggered that I would cry if they left the feather on there. I would love to see it, but I would love to also see the spear on the side of the helmet. If that's going to be a throwback, I'm fine with that. I still don't think, however, that there's any reason why you can't have the chief helmet as a throwback and have the spear incorporated with a permanent regular logo. That logo needs changing. You can keep the W and put the W in the spear somewhere or make it a part of the spear somehow like that, but we need something a little bit meaner in my opinion. And I think ownership knows that. I think a lot of fans um, kind of echo that sentiment as well. And so I would like to see that. But overall, a lot of interesting things. The last thing, I think Jeremy Reeves getting extended a year. That man has worked so hard, and he has truly been a Redskin football team player, a commander. I mean, he has really uh, given all of his blood, sweat, and tears to this organization, and he deserves the extension. I'm glad he got it. Jeremy is one of my favorite guys on there. He seems like he's really cool on social media as well. But I am happy for Jeremy. Can't wait to see what he can do this season. Um, Other things that people have talked about that's been noticed in minicamp, uh, Marshawn Lattimore, president minicamp, seems to be completely 100% healed. He has been having a great minicamp. He looks like he is ready to go. Looks like he has gotten his speed back. That's very exciting. We need somebody like Marshawn Lattimore at 100%. So I can't wait to see how he is this year fully healthy. I also want to see what Luke McCaffrey is able to do in this season too. I really want him. Someone said that's the reason why they brought in Wes Welker. Was to help Luke McCaffrey, and I'm like, okay, I guess it's something with white receivers. I don't know. I'm just I can't. I guess you can see the similarities. Yes, they're both white. Um, maybe they do have both the same playing style. Don't know, but anyway, he seems like he's been given a lot of effort into the mini camp as well. Can't wait to see how he really plays. We need a lot more from him. I want to see more from Luke McCaffrey. I really do. I didn't think he was given enough opportunities this past year, but at the same time, you want to kind of work these guys in. I have a lot of confidence in this coaching staff, so I feel like they know exactly how much playing time, how much to put on these younger guys, and so I feel like they're looking at McCaffrey, trying to see if he can kind of move up in the ranks there. He'll probably take the position of Zacchaeus, how he was last year. Maybe Luke McCaffrey can hold that position. Overall, though, a lot of interesting things happening. I feel like this team is going to have a good season, of course, but mini camp, you can't read a whole lot into mini camp, but you are seeing this thing where it feels like that the team in general has a swagger about them. And I think all that starts at the top. I think all that starts with the coaching staff. We definitely have the right coaching staff in place and the right people in place doing the right things to help these players, to help get the most out of these players. And I think they're doing a heck of a job, and I hope that they continue to improve and to improve everything else with the Washington Commanders. So anyway, that's it, folks. Very good. except for the Noah Brown story. So far, it looks like there's a lot of positives that's coming out of minicamp. I do want to see the big positive of getting Terry McLaurin signed. Hopefully, that's going to come very soon. But, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like and give it a share. And with that said, I will see you, of course, in the next one. Take care, everybody.